So let's look at Judaism. Here you have, instead of saying Judah, if you don't mind, I want to say Judah, or some say Yehuda, whichever you choose. But here's the word for Yehuda, and it's Vav Hey, no, Yud Hey, excuse me, Vav Dalet Hey. I knew that. Yud Hey, Vav Dalet Hey. Really close, really close. Okay, because anyway, I'm not going to deal with that right now, but let's look at what a definition of Jew, getting right back on track. Definition of Jew. Well, we're talking about myths, so let's look at some of the myths, and some of these may be true, and we're going to talk about what's true and what's not. Number one, a person belonging to a continuation through descent or conversion of the ancient Jewish people whose mother was converted. Okay, so what you're saying, if a person has a Jewish mother and she has been converted, and her husband is an atheist, basically you're saying that if they have children, the children are going to be Jew. That's what Judaism teaches. I haven't found that in scripture yet. Where did it come from? It came from people making up stuff. It's and I know there are some people who are, you may be a person who worship or practice, there it is, practice Judaism. Well, the word Elohim never told us that if your mother was converted. See, that's something that they constructed in their own laws. All right, so let's look at this. Let's look at the next one. Number two, a race of people. How is it that when I was filling out an application, it was asking me, was I white? Was I black? Was I Jew? I said, what? Being a Jew is not, it's not about being a race of people. What is going on here? No, absolutely no. And here, number three, a member of a tribe or of the tribe of Judah. A member of the tribe of Judah. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, and then B, an Israelite. Okay, well, we know how, what happened, where Judah, where it came from. Well, Judah was one of the sons of Jacob, who was changed, name was changed to Israel, and that's where we got the Israelites, right? Okay, and then four, a member of the nation existing in Palestine from the 6th century BC to the 1st century AD. And then number five, one whose religion is Judaism. So let's look at this, because we have a lot of questions brewing here. So if a person is declared a Jew because they practice Judaism, let's just look at the scriptures and let's see what the scripture has to say about it. So in Yochanan 5:9-15, the word Elohim reads, and that day was the Sabbath. The Jews therefore said to him who was cured, it is the Sabbath. It's not lawful for you to carry your bed. He answered them, he who made me well said to me, take up your bed and walk. He was talking about Yeshua. Yeshua told him to do that. Verse 12, then they asked him, who is the man who said to you, take up your bed and walk? But the one who was healed did not know who it was. Yeshua had withdrawn a multitude being in that place. Afterward, Yeshua found him in the temple and said to him, see, you have been made well. Sin no more, lest the worst thing come upon you. That's a whole nother message. Now keep on singing, because Elohim, he understands. No, that's not what he said. He said, go and sin no more. Verse 15, the man departed and told the Jews that it was Yeshua who had made him well. Okay, now let's look at the next part. For this reason, the Jews persecuted Yeshua and sought to kill him because he had done these things on the Sabbath. Verse 17, in his defense, Yeshua said to them, my Father is always at his work to this very day, and I too am working. For this reason, they tried all the more to kill him. Not only was he breaking the Sabbath, but he was even calling Elohim his own father, making himself equal with Elohim. Let's set the record straight. Let's set the record straight. We were just talking about, well, who's a Jew? Who's not? Okay, so Yeshua, he healed on the Sabbath, and religion, Judaism, had a problem with it. Religion and rituals are so powerful until it will make you reject the precepts of Elohim. We've got to get this. So we have to make sure that we don't become a prisoner of our own misconceptions like they were. How is it that they could rebuke Yeshua and say, how dare you heal on the Sabbath? Well, the Sabbath was made for man. So it was those who were practicing Judaism who were going against Yeshua. So I just wanted to make a distinction there. So here's the question. Let's keep moving. Let's keep on moving. Here's the question. So we know that this word Jew popped up from somewhere, and we're laying a foundation just to get an understanding, because some things that we say, we just say it because that's all we've been hearing, and we'll say Jew and because it was the dictionary says Jew. But let's look at this. The brief history of Judah. After the death of King Solomon, the kingdom split into the northern kingdom, which kept its name Israel, right? Yes. And the southern kingdom was called Judah. Okay, so there was a split, or Judah. The northern tribe refused to accept Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, as their king. And so the word Jew actually prompted from Judah, and they called themselves shortening it and saying Jew instead of Judah. So that's where we get the word Jew from. Okay, so let's look at it further. The tribe of Judah. The tribe of Judah, what's so special about it? Well, the tribe of Judah stands out among the 12 tribes because it's of its association with the house of David, the southern kingdom of Judah. And then also in Lucas, the word tells us, chapter 1, 32 and 33 verse, he will be great and will be called the Son of the Highest. Yahweh Elohim will give him the throne of his father David, and he will reign over the house of Jacob forever, and his kingdom there will be no end. So it brings us to the question of why was the tribe of Judah, why were they even chosen? Why were they chosen? So in Malachim, Allah, 1 Kings 12 and 20, now it came to pass when all of Israel heard that Jeroboam had come back, they sent for him and called him to the congregation and made him king over Israel. Look at this part. It says, there was none who followed the house of David, but the tribe of Judah only. See, Judah, the tribe of Judah was a special tribe. It was not based on Judaism, as many were thinking, those who were practicing the religion of it, adding all of these different additional laws and saying, oh, you're healing on the Sabbath, and oh, I can't believe you did this. And okay, stop. All right. In Tehillim 78 and 67, he rejected the tent of Joseph. He did not choose the tribe of Ephraim, but he chose the tribe of Judah, Mount Zion, which he loves. So it brings us back to the question, was Yeshua a Jew? Well, he was, but he wasn't, but he was. He was in that he came from the tribe of Judah, yes, but he did not practice Judaism. Now, some will say, oh, wait a minute. It said it was custom. Well, let's look at it. I mean, you have to keep on searching and digging. He wasn't with all of those rituals. He's the one who went there to straighten them out. So when he stood up at this big celebration and telling them, if any man thirst, when he did that, and some of them had a fit, like, wait a minute, you're breaking up our ceremony. How dare you? How dare you do this? Don't you see that we have spent all this time? See, rituals, in rituals versus relationship, rituals versus knowing the spirit and true and living Elohim. Rituals will get you nowhere. We have to make sure that we are clinging to his word. Remember that word we were talking about, thirsting, having a strong desire to be pulled to the Father. Well, what are we pulling? We're pulling to his precepts. We're drawn to his ways, not how I thought it should go, or not because of my ancestors, they did it this way and we're going to always do it this way. Not because you were born in it. It's time for a change.